How's it going, guys? My name is Gingium, and today we are going to be talking about the new BeamNG.Drive update. Now, I'm going to be telling you pretty much what's new, what's still the same, things that need to be improved, all that jazz. But if we just go and start off right at the bat, you can tell that the title screen is a little bit different. I noticed this right away. If you go up to the left, you click Drive, it brings up this. Now, there's 4 different options here. There's campaign, which isn't open yet. There's scenarios, and there's free roam, and there's more content. More content also isn't open. Now, free roam is what it pretty much was before this update. You know, you go on the map, you can just drive around, do whatever you want. But there's actually a new map called the Jungle Island. That's an awesome map. There's a volcano and stuff. Now, if you go to scenarios, it brings up this. There's a ton of custom races that you can do. Scenarios are pretty much small single-player challenges or races, either doing like a jump or doing some sort of rally or off-roading thing. They're really fun. They're pretty short, but they're really fun, and there's a ton of them. Like, I'm never gonna get bored here, and they'll provide some really fun gameplay. Finally, BeamNG.Drive is more of a racing game instead of just a game to fool around with for a couple of minutes. It's awesome. But if you click on scenario, it brings up this thing off to the right, tells you the difficulty, the author, and what it is. For this specific example, it is a land race made by the creators of BeamNG.Drive, and it is very hard or hard, I can't exactly tell. Yeah, every single race tells you that, the difficulty, the author. So this probably means that people will be able to create their own scenarios, which will be awesome. It opens up tons of opportunities to make new content. When you launch one of the scenarios, it brings up something like this. It tells you the overview of the race, tells you tips and tricks, and you pretty much just jump right into it by pushing the big yellow triangle, or play button. Counts down, you start, just like any normal game. Now, if you do notice, there are a couple of things. In the top right, it tells you the time, and there are these checkpoints. Now, this is awesome, because, yet again, it's finally becoming more of a game. There's actually stuff you can do. There's goals in the game. Now, if you look at the bottom right, the speedometer and tachometer is vastly different. They finally made it look like a real car, which is awesome. I love that. Now, you do have to be careful in these races because you cannot reset or spawn a new vehicle in any of them. They're all actual challenges. So you have to be careful, make sure not to run off the road or anything, because otherwise you're kind of screwed. Most of the challenges / races are not that difficult. As long as you're a careful driver, you should be fine. But some of them have quite drastic turns, and if you're not paying attention, you'll just screw yourself over. Another thing this update does is it adds races with laps. Now, a cool thing about this is if you look in the top right-hand corner, it gives you a split time if you're faster or slower than your last lap. Now, this is a pretty simple, thing in most racing games, but for BeamNG.Drive, it's new and it's pretty awesome. Now, looking at the actual car selection, they are all the same, no new cars. However, the menu is vastly different. If you look off, you can change your color, you can do all this stuff, and there's also a performance class. Each vehicle is in a class of its own, or not necessarily its own, but it's determined by how fast it is. The higher performance class, the faster it is. It's really awesome. Another thing is that you can actually choose to spawn a new vehicle or replace the one that you're in right now. Much easier than what it was before. Another thing it adds is awesome off-roading obstacles. They didn't have this kind of rock stuff in the last update. Another thing this update does is add new water and mud textures. See, this actually looks like real mud and stuff instead of the crappy mud that was in the last thing. Really awesome, but guys, that is pretty much it. What this update has pretty much done is taken all the things in the previous updates and actually made them into a game instead of a sandbox, really. I'm going to be doing all those scenarios, so if you're interested, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.